So XI is chapter 11. X is 10, I is 1. It was dusk when the priest came. They had brought the soup and afterwards taken away the bowls, and I was lying looking at the rows of beds and out the window at the treetop that moved a little in the evening breeze. The breeze came in through the window, and it was cooler with the evening. The flies were on the ceiling now and on the electric light bulbs that hung on wires. The lights were only turned on when someone was brought in at night or when something was being done. Quick interruption. To me, this sounds like reporting. And the reason I say that is it reads a little bit like a list. And it's got its sensory details. You could probably also make an argument for simplicity. It made me feel very young to have the dark come after the dusk and then remain. It was like being put to bed after early supper. The orderly came down between the beds and stopped. Someone was with him. It was the priest. He stood there, small, brown-faced, and embarrassed. "How do you do?" he asked. He put some packages down by the bed on the floor. "All right, Father." He sat down in the chair that had been brought for Rinaldi and looked out the window embarrassedly. I noticed his face looked very tired. "I can only stay a minute," he said. "It is late." "It's not late. How's the mess?" He smiled. "I am still a great joke." He sounded tired, too. "Thank God they are all well." Would you be so grateful that all those people that were mean to you, if a bunch of people made you the butt of all their jokes, would your first thought be, thank God they're safe and healthy? I mean, that's just, as I've said, I really like the priest. He's a good dude. So, thank God they are all well. "I am so glad you are all right," he said. "I hope you don't suffer." He seemed very tired, and I was not used to seeing him tired. "Not any more. I miss you at the mess. I wish I were there. I always enjoyed our talking." And when he says the mess, they're talking about the mess hall. They're talking about where they eat. "I brought you a few little things," he said. He picked up the packages. "This is mosquito netting. This is a bottle of vermouth. You like vermouth? These are English papers. Please open them." Oops, sorry, my hand's getting tired. He was pleased and undid them. I held the mosquito netting in my hands, the vermouth he held for me to see, and then put it on the floor beside the bed. I held up one of the sheaf of English papers. I could read the headlines by turning it so the half-light from the window was on it. It was the news of the world. "The others are illustrated," he said. "It will be a great happiness to read them. Where'd you get them?" "I sent for them to Mestre. I will have more." "You were very good to come, Father. Will you drink a glass of vermouth?" "Thank you. You keep it. It's for you." "No, drink a glass." "All right. I'll bring you more then." The orderly brought the glasses and opened the bottle. He broke off the cork, and the end had to be shoved down into the bottle. I could see the priest was disappointed, but he said, "That's all right. It's no matter. Here's to your health, Father." "To your better health." Afterward, he held the glass in his hand, and we looked at one another. Sometimes we talked and were good friends, but tonight it was difficult. "What's the matter, Father? You seem very tired." "I am tired, but I have no right to be." "It's the heat." "No, this is only the spring. I feel very low." "You have the war discussed." "No, but I hate the war." "I don't enjoy it," I said. He shook his head and looked out the window. "You do not mind it. You do not see it." "You must forgive me. I know you are wounded." "That is an accident." "Still, even wounded, you do not see it. I can tell." "I do not see it myself, but I feel it a little." "When I was wounded, we were talking about it. Pacini was talking." The priest put down the glass. He was thinking about something. "I know them because I am like they are," he said. "You are different, though." "But really I am like they are." "The officers don't see anything." "Some of them do. Some are very delicate and feel worse than any of us. They are mostly different." "It is not education or money. It is something else. Even if they had education or money, men like Pacini would not wish to be officers. I would not be an officer." So Pacini was the guy who ended up dying. but he was the one that spoke out against the war, that said we should just quit fighting. You rank as an officer. I'm an officer. That's Henry talking to the priest. I am not really. You are not even Italian. You're a foreigner. But you are nearer the officers than you are to the men. What is the difference? I cannot say it easily. There are people who would make war in this country. There are many like that. There are other people who would not make war. But the first ones make them do it? Yes. And I help them? You are a foreigner. You are a patriot. And the ones who would not make war, can they stop it? I don't know, said the priest. He looked out the window again. I watched his face. Have they ever been able to stop it? Asked Henry. They are not organized to stop things, and when they get organized, their leaders sell them out. Then it's hopeless. It is never hopeless, but sometimes I cannot hope. I try always to hope, but sometimes I cannot. All right, so the priest says it can't be hopeless, and that's because of his faith. And that's something that's important. We're going to learn about Hemingway heroes next week. And part of what makes a Hemingway hero is not giving up even when you know everything is pointless and futile. It's keeping hope despite the fact it's hopeless. Maybe the war will be over, replied Henry. I hope so. What will you do then? If it is possible, I will return to the Abruzzi. His brown face was suddenly very happy. You love the Abruzzi. Yes, I love it very much. You ought to go there then. I would be too happy if I could live there and love God and serve him. And be respected, I said. Yes, and be respected. Why not? No reason not. You should be respected. It does not matter, but there in my country. Now, Abruzzi is part of Italy, but he's talking about my region. It is understood that a man may love God. It is not a dirty joke. I understand.